Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and a second video for you guys today. This won't be highly edited, this won't be my typical coverage at this point. This is me getting some stuff off my chest, and in particular talking about YouTube and what the scene is for YouTube creators right now, because it is a goddamn mess at this point. Now, a lot of you know that I do coverage in terms of gaming coverage for TechRaptor, but lately I've been covering some issues regarding YouTube. I hate everything's channel being pulled off of YouTube, the whole Polaris and Maker situation with privatizing videos. But what's been disturbing over the last several days is the number of reports of channels being shut down, channels being restricted by copyright claims or community guideline strike claims at this point. It's getting to the point where I can't keep up with it. Now, a couple of months ago, YouTube put up this fair use page. In particular, it goes over some of the myths of fair use, some of the factors in order to qualify for fair use. But one thing to note in particular was the fact that in some cases, YouTube was willing to spend up to $1 million to protect legally the cases of fair use in terms of copyright takedown requests. Now, they specifically said they couldn't do it with every case. The videos that they featured there in terms of that page was a minuscule portion of the number of copyright takedown requests they receive. But they're going to do their best to find the videos that were most illustrative of fair use to protect them. However, there was one other statement that should be pointed out here. And I'm going to read this statement out for you. While we can't offer a legal defense to everyone, we'll remain vigilant about takedown notices impacting all creators. You might have seen press coverage of some cases where we've asked rights owners to reconsider takedowns or reinstated fair use videos. Now, with all the information that has come out over the last several days, I can honestly say that this statement means absolutely nothing to YouTube because they are not vigilant about takedown notices, and creators are being hit left and right with not only DMCA notices, but community strike notices, and just having their channels removed or monetization removed altogether, which for some people, this is the way that they are choosing to live their life, making their money and being able to live. This is a huge issue that is just getting worse and worse over time. Want me to bring up some examples? Sure. Chibi Reviews, 100,000 subscribers at this point. He's got a bad standing in copyright because of one strike. There are 3 episodes, first impressions and reviews, which are protected by fair use under criticism, are all been claimed by Tokyo Broadcast System. Now, in Japan, it is a little bit different in terms of fair use. In terms of politics, you can do stuff in terms of fair use, but when it comes to reviews and first impressions, the thing is that it's not protected over there, at least to the extent that it is in America. With that said, this is in America. Now, you'll see on the screen there that his monetization has been removed at this point because of the copyright issues. Now, it would be great if this was, resolved in a day or two, but as Channel Awesome has seen, that isn't the case right now in terms of YouTube. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, the guy's got 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, it sucks for him, but a bigger channel won't have these problems, right? Well, sadly, no. And in particular, Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic, is finding himself having problems with the YouTube support system and the DMCA claims. In fact, for the last 23 days, his channel Awesome has been completely demonetized at this point with no help from YouTube support at all. They don't even know exactly what they can do to counter it at this point. And it took so long for them to actually make the counter DMCA because of all the problems with the different systems in place. When they had 2 managers logged in at the same time, they got different forms. It is a complete and utter mess in terms of copyright right now in terms of the YouTube space. It's not just the copyright system that's being abused right now. The community guideline system seems to be having problems of its own as well. Eli the Computer Guy had a community strike put on one of his really, really old videos, which it wasn't clear exactly what it violated in terms of the community guidelines. And looking at the guy's other videos, he doesn't necessarily tell people to hack or anything. He actually says, don't hack people, but this is what could possibly happen if somebody were to hack something. Well, that community guideline, he went with a counterclaim on, and it got rejected. What does that mean? Well, for 6 months, he can't make over 15-minute videos, for example. A lot of his abilities are restricted, and that's because of this automated system and no human actually looking at the issue in question. This guy has 600,000 plus subscribers, and he's treated like somebody who has 5 subscribers. Now, does content and the amount of things that you do on YouTube make a difference? I really believe it should in terms of history. You may be thinking to yourself, well, this has got to be a new issue, right? Quite the opposite. In fact, the Jaywitz 2 years ago got one of his videos removed, Lavender Town Myths Pokemon Fact of the Day, for inappropriate or offensive content, and got a community strike against him. Now, this was an account with over 1 million subscribers, had hundreds and hundreds of videos that never went against the community guidelines, and this video had been up for a significant amount of time. And yet, all of a sudden, there you go. He's got one strike on him, and thus he is restricted in a lot of his functionality. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, YouTube had to respond at some point in terms of these allegations or, being able to explain what was going on. Well, in fact, it's quite the opposite. For example, I Hate Everything, even though his channel was terminated at one point and then it was brought back, there was no reasoning given to him in terms of what happened to his channel. All of a sudden, it had returned, and he was just sitting there going, what the hell is going on? He made an informative video on this topic right now. You should go watch it at this point, and I'll put it in the description below. And yet content creators are in this sense of panic right now from what I see, and rightfully so. For example, I'm creating YouTube content right now in terms of the last year and a half, in terms of gaming reviews and first impressions. The fact of the matter is that I'm scared that one company can completely shut down my channel for no good reason, and I will have absolutely no way to deal with it at this point, literally stopping my career in its tracks. It is a scary world unless if you're the big guys in the park right now. The guys like PewDiePie, the Fine Brothers, Markiplier. They seem to set the trends at this point, and YouTube is willing to listen. But what's even more disturbing is that the medium guys, the medium-high guys in terms of like the Nostalgia Critic, Eli the Computer Guy, they're not being listened to, and they make them a significant amount of money. Now, it is a mutually beneficial relationship here. The creators make money, the YouTube makes money, everyone should be happy, and yet they get absolutely no protection. It is the corporation at its finest. You only worry about the biggest stockholders in question, but it's almost to the point where it's just like, why are you not fighting for your own service? How does this get fixed at this point? This seems like an issue that's so widespread, and YouTube really has no reason to, take a look at it at this point. Well, here's the thing. The only way to get this issue resolved, in my opinion, is to make YouTube react to it. And the only way to do that is to get hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of voices speaking up at the same time. We've seen it in games journalism in terms of things like the Deus Ex pre-order bonus, where the company got such a backlash with so many voices yelling at them at the same time that they did something wrong and they went too far, that they actually had to take a look at the issue and reverse it. On the contrary, Anno 2205 pre-order being canceled by Ubisoft didn't get those voices, and thus Ubisoft was able to cancel it with no fanfare, despite the fact that they canceled it for no good reason. If you are a YouTube creator, if you are a YouTube watcher, if you're just somebody who's running across this video, I implore you to get involved at this point in terms of a call to action. I'm going to put a hashtag on this YouTube disaster at this point, and I'm going to see what happens from it. But even if this doesn't take off, for example, take a look at people like the I Hate Everything channel Awesome, the people who are affected by this, and get your voice out there, because this is going to change the landscape of YouTube and nothing happens at this point. The content that you watch is being changed over time. We've seen it with the channel Awesome in question. They do more skits because a lot of the footage that they're getting, they're afraid to get copyright strikes at this point. They did a whole parody video on Jurassic World, for example, mostly because of the fact that they couldn't use any footage. Yeah, they were using it in fair use for review, but they were afraid because guess what? Things like Universal Studios are willing to throw a DMCA claim out and threaten with lawyers, and what can you do as a small creator? Anyway, I had to get a second video out today because I had to get this off my chest. I am looking at Rabbi Robbie at this point. That's probably going to come out Saturday at this point because I'm just exhausted after going through all these videos and things like that and writing up some news and things like that. Do something, guys. I implore you to take a stand and tell YouTube, hey, guess what? We're not taking it anymore.